We are solving the problem called exchange seats, which is a medium level SQL question on Leetcode. The problem is like that: write an SQL query to swap the seat ID of every two consecutive students. If the number of students is odd, the ID of the last student is not swapped, and return the result table ordered by ID in ascending order. The query result format is in the following example. See, so we have to swap like Abbott and Doris, then Emerson and Green, but James as the it's his last ID, and the number of uh, students are odd, so we don't need, there is nothing to swap with. So let's write the query. Here we will use case statement. So here the first case will be when modulus of id will be 1 and the id will not be equal to the count of the seat, so id will not be 5 for this particular table. So if id mod 2 is equal to 1, so for this id mod 2 will be 1, so at that time the id should become id plus 1, so id should become 2. So for Abbott id will become 2, like this here. And let's consider second case Doris. So when id mod 2 is equal to 0, it will go here because the modulus will be 0. So id mod 2 is equal to 0, then id minus 1, so it will become 1. So these two are swapped. So similarly for 3 and 4, and then after it reaches 5, so it will be modulus will be 1, but it will not, it will also become I mean 5 will also become like count, so it will just go to else statement and it will id will remain the same. So, and as we have to order the table by ascending order, I have used order by statement. This was the solution.